everybody, John here at atxhotsauce.com, where we show you how to make some of the best fermented hot sauces in the world. Don't forget to subscribe down below for any future videos and check out some of our other ones. Today we're making some habanero sauce, and this is a recipe I've never tried before. Added some different things to it. I typically do it with pineapple. I use mango this time. Added some 7 spice, some cardamom. We've got garlic and carrots in here. And we've been fermenting this for a little over a month, and now we're gonna strain it, get it all bottled, and run it through the blender first, obviously, and get it all bottled, see how it tastes. All right, let's get started. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and take the bubbler out of here. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put that away. If you've ever seen any of my previous videos, I like to put vodka in that instead of a brine or water or something like that. It tends to, I don't know, create a better barrier. You do have to watch out though when you put alcohol in that, like a clear alcohol like vodka or gin or whatever it may be. It tends to evaporate faster, so you want to refill it as the brine goes. You know, some of the brines we have go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 months, and you have to replace that liquid in there. You don't want to ever get that oxygen to get back in. So whenever I brine something, I write everything down I put into it, put the date, put it all, put a label on here with the date, the batch number. You just don't remember things later on, right? A month or 2 or 3 months go by, you're looking at your jar going, I don't even remember what I put in there. Well, I do, because I have it all written down. And when you're old, you got to write things down. So this is batch 36. I got some sweet mini peppers in there, habaneros, half an onion, some big carrots. We got 15-ounce can of drained mango slices, right? Garlic, some 7 spice, and some cardamom seeds. I think with the sweet peppers and the mango, it's going to be a spicy, yet kind of a sweet sauce. You can put on like chickens, maybe some pork. Anyway, let's check it out. All right, let's get this thing drained. Obviously there's a lot of brine in here, so I have not 1 but 2 things we're going to put it in. So I do use fermentation weights on these. This one has a porcelain one, I believe, but what happens sometimes after the brine gets going, it falls down to the bottom, so that's probably what happened to this one. All right, I've sterilized all this stuff. Let's start taking some of it out. Wow, get the smell coming off. This is absolutely gorgeous. So let's go ahead and pour some of this out. Get a little bit of splash, that's okay. And here's the reason I have 2 pans. Go ahead and move this one over here. Set this one aside. In fact, while we're at it, why don't we do a pH test? So I like to do the pH on the brine and on the finished sauce. I'm thinking with what I have in here and how long I've brined this, probably going to be at about, I'd say 3.9. Let's see how good I am. Not that great. Well, 3.2. That's pretty acidic, but that's actually good for being shelf stable, so we can add some other stuff to it. Make sure you always wash these off, and make sure you keep the lid, the cover on it right here, so it stays moist, but clean. All right, let's finish getting this stuff over here. Actually, it looks like I had a couple of, get that garlic out of there. So we have the ceramic one. This actually goes together when you put it in there, and it looks like this, and weighs them down. Looks like I think it fell, and I added another weight after that too. So we're going to discard those. Those are not going to go in the sauce. All right, I got my brine separated from my vegetables over here. I got the habaneros, the carrots, the onions, the cardamom, the mango, and we're going to combine it into this blender. I use a 2-step process when I'm making my sauces. A lot of people put theirs through a strainer, strain it out, keep the seeds out. I have an attachment for this which will pulverize majority of the seeds, like 95% of them, make a real nice consistency on it. So you can do the strainer if you want. It just seems like a lot of extra work, and I don't like they're putting the spoon over and over and over it. And I think you get more product this way. So first step is the big blender, get everything blended together. Then we have the bullet, we're gonna put that on top of that there and start making the sauce. So let's start making some sauce. Now obviously I've sterilized and cleaned everything here. So we're good to go in that aspect. All right, let's see about getting some of this stuff in here. And we're not gonna pick up that one. I guess it just didn't want to go in. color on this is amazing. Even the white onions have turned a yellow. Little guy's trying to get away. Got the cardamom seeds, a little garlic. All right, how about that? We're gonna save this guy, and we'll save this guy. All right. Next, we want to add a little bit of the brine back. I'm going to do about maybe a cup and a half of the brine back into it. Maybe 2 cups. Maybe a little more. I'm not good at measuring. But, you know, I think making a sauce is kind of an art, right? So, who measures art? I guess art critics do. All right, we're going to get it on this blender and get it going here. Okay, we've let it blend for about 30-40 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of the white wine, just regular vinegar in here. About a half a cup. Don't want to fill this thing up too much, it'll make a mess. All right, got that in there. Let's start stuffing it in. All right, blend it for about another 30 seconds. You gotta be careful about blending too long. You can't just let it blend for 4 or 5 minutes. The reason is the blades create friction and everything. They heat up, heats the sauce up. Does some weird things you really don't want it to do. If you notice here, there's a lot of, you can see a lot of the seeds, right? The habanero seeds in here. And I really don't want that, right? I don't want that in my sauce that's gonna come out of a bottle. I think it's a little bit too much. You can still see some of the cardamom and some of the other stuff that I put in here. So what I like to do is the 2-step method we talked about. I'm gonna grab my bullet, transfer some of this into here, and obviously we've sanitized this also. I can tell this is gonna be a really fruity sauce when it's ready. See, it's pretty thick right now. Probably gonna add some more brine as we go too, which means that I'm gonna have to find a container to put this in. Let's get that back in there. Let's get this bullet on. What I love about this blender, it has this extraction mode. All right, we're done with the blender here on this one. And if you look at the consistency and the color of both of them, see all the seeds in this one? You really don't see it in there. We're actually gonna blend it a little bit more. I'm gonna mix it back in here. I'm also gonna put some more brine because it's pretty thick and I haven't even added a thickening agent to it yet. So one of the things I'm gonna also do, because I only did this fermentation for about a month, I know that all those veggies are still fermenting in there, right? They're creating CO2. If I bottle this up too quickly, when people open it up, they could get a really nice surprise right in your face. And the last thing you want is habanero in your face. So before we bottle this, I'm gonna actually transfer it to the stove and bring it to a low simmer for about 15 or 20 minutes. That'll just stop the fermenting process, right? And then I can bottle it up. But let's keep blending here because we got a little bit more blending to do. One of the other things I like to do also is add a little xanthan gum. The xanthan gum is gonna, we put some vinegar in there, we put some extra brine in there, keeps it from separating, keeps the sauce at a good consistency. We've got a lot of here. We've probably got 80 ounces or so. So we're gonna use a full teaspoon, and this is half teaspoons here. I'll get that in there. A lot of times I'll put this in while it's actually blending though. It seems to come out consistent-wise better. A little bit of brine back to this. All right, remember I said we're gonna heat this up because it didn't really ferment very long, only about a month. I wanna stop that fermentation process before I put it in the bottles because you don't want exploding habaneros going on everybody. So I've got a pot here we're gonna add the finished product to. Wow, that is really, I'm glad I wrote this recipe down because I didn't even remember making it. And I can't stress enough how you should have a book, right? keep all your notes and everything, because the more batches you make, they just all run together. And if you have that, you can always, if you create that perfect sauce and you didn't write it down, you're gonna take weeks or months, right, to be able to figure out what you actually did. Fermentation is not an overnight thing or a 1 hour thing. It takes a while. So always write down your stuff. All right, we've got a hot sauce that's been simmering for about 15 or 20 minutes. Gonna stop that fermentation, so when we bottle it up, that fermentation doesn't keep going and you get a, kind of like a little firecracker of habanero at the end. Don't want that. It's still a little bit warm, but that's okay. You can put that in there just like that. So we're gonna transfer some of this sauce over here. You can see those specks of cardamom. Looks so good. All right. Got our funnel here, it's been sanitized. We put Star San in these bottles after we've washed them very, very well. All right, we're gonna get some of that residual out of there. It's okay to have some of this stuff in there. Doesn't affect the flavor of the food or do anything. Just make sure that bottle is sanitized. Remember when you're doing these, when you have these funnels, if you set them all the way down, it's gonna stop the airflow. So it won't really, well, that one actually works out pretty good if I do this. Gotta kind of do a little air pocket going there. I want to fill it up to about right. So it's hot, so you want to fill it up a little bit more than normal. We've stopped the fermentation, but when it heats things up, remember the volume can increase. So we're going to fill these up pretty well. I got one more to go here. Now, obviously this batch makes more than 3, but because of the time we have allotted today, all we need is 3, so I can show you how that process works when we label them, do all that stuff. Gosh, this smell is absolutely amazing. A little bit more. Okay, all right, get the labels. These have also been cleaned and sanitized. Put that on there like that. Another one, put that on there like this. And we got this one. Now for the labels. Now remember, we got our book, right? What batch is this? This is batch 36. And all we added was a little bit of vinegar and almost all the brine in there. So I'm gonna add some vinegar, brine. I'm gonna put the date I made this sauce. And it's 2020. So it's batch 36, already got my labels pre-printed. I'm gonna write my batch numbers on there. Actually, I already put them on here, batch 36, I knew. Think ahead on your labels, right? Now we're gonna label these suckers. Let's see how they look. Just lay the bottle down. Bam, just like that. Lay that down. Just like that. One thing you don't want to do is put up these labels on when it's wet. They won't stick and it just makes a big old mess as they come off. All right, almost done. We'll get 3 of these little foil shrink things. All right. A couple different ways you can do these, the foil. You can heat some boiling water, boil some water. Then when the water's at a kind of a rolling boil, you just put them straight down like that, hold it in the water, it shrinks all to it. You can use a blow dryer. Me personally, I like to take out the big guns, air gun, heat gun, I mean. Man, that sauce is a little bit spicy. I'm gonna try a new thing I've been doing. Put them label down, top down when I'm doing it. Got a little butterfingers today. All right, just spin it around. Perfect. All right, let's take another one. Spin that around. There you go, perfect. Perfection. Now you have the mango juice. We call our habanero sauce the juice. This one is the mango juice, batch number 36. This is probably gonna make, I don't know, probably maybe 3 dozen, maybe a little bit less bottles. Check out our website, atxhotsauce.com, if you want to try some of it. I gotta tell you, it's one of the best ones out there. That mango really comes through, the onions, the carrots, and those habaneros are a little bit spicy too. So I hope you check it out. Don't forget to subscribe down below, because we got a lot more videos coming, and there's some older videos you can go look at too. See you next time.